A local business owner pleading to the community after his shop is broken into for an 8th time.
I don't know the answer of how to stop it.
Plus, protests popping up in Portland and across the country, speaking out against Tesla CEO Elon Musk and his involvement in the federal government.
None of us had the opportunity to vote on him or his agenda.
And later, the latest in the legal battle over gender-affirming care for youth.
There's always people come out of the woodwork, oh, why do you even do it? And every time I get broken into, I ask myself that more and more too.
A popular Southeast Portland game store has been broken into again, this time twice in 1 week. Thanks for joining us here at 5. I'm John Adams. Let's get right to our Celine Stevens, who spoke with the owner today about what happened. Celine?
John, today Portland police confirmed that this is the store's 8th report of a burglary since February of 2020. One of the burglaries happened on the owner's birthday last Monday, and now he's out of thousands of dollars worth of product again.
I never thought selling board games would be such a difficult job.
Red Castle Games in Southeast Portland has been hit by burglars again and again and again.
I don't know the answer of how to stop it.
This time getting hit twice in 1 week, with the hit on February 10th also being the owner, Matthew Michituch's birthday.
The deadbolt was drilled out. They destroyed it. So we got a new deadbolt Monday, and then Wednesday they just that's when they did all the damage to the door frame, and they just went to town with, I assume, crowbars or something, just destroyed the frame and then opened the doors.
The burglars stealing thousands of dollars worth of Pokemon and Magic game cards, with Wednesday having the biggest hit. Some of these cards were a part of collector's packs, meaning they can be high-dollar items.
The retail on that was somewhere between 40 and 50 thousand, 40 and 50,000, and then we spent about $2,000 in repairing the door framing.
Portland police confirmed since February of 2020, the store has been burglarized 8 times. As for insurance,
I'm terrified that I'm going to get dropped. Already in the last 3 years, my insurance rates have gone up 400%.
Now he's trying to raise money through a GoFundMe to help with additional security measures. Customers I spoke with say spaces like this are needed and hopes Red Castle Games can stick around despite the recurring crime.
It's the whole concept of a third space, like somewhere to go that isn't work or home. Losing any of them would be a shame.
These guys do so much to keep our teenagers and such entertained locally. If you go by here on a Thursday night, it's wall to wall. Like this place is important.
Michituch says he is grateful for the community's support during this time. He also says he has deep roots to Foster Road, where his store is located, and hopes to continue his business there for as long as he can. The store's 15th anniversary is on March 1st. John?
All right, our Celine Stevens tonight. Thank you, Celine. Well, turning now to weather. Snow remains on the ground across the metro area. Warmer temperatures meant the precipitation we saw this morning in the valley came in the form of rain and not snow or ice. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is with us tonight. Joe, do you think people need to be worried tonight about roads refreezing again?
Absolutely not. Not here in the metro area. Go over the Oregon Cascades. Absolutely. There are some washes warnings I'll get to in a second. But here locally, we're going to be seeing temperatures relatively mild from what we have been seeing over the last several days, where temperatures were definitely dropping below freezing. Not this morning, although temperatures were right around that 33 to 35 degree range. Troutdale, you woke up with a temperature of 33 degrees, where it was really cold east side of the state. Look at Burns, -5 earlier this morning. Now we're going to see relatively mild conditions here locally throughout the coast and the valley over the next several hours. Looking into the rest of your Saturday night, temperatures will drop down into the low 40s, and yeah, a few locations will be basically the upper 30s, low 40s for your overnight lows. But I am tracking this frontal system that's going to be moving on shore tonight, bringing in widespread showers for your Sunday. Meanwhile, you're going to be looking at heavy snow showers throughout the Oregon Cascades. Also, a little bit of some freezing rain in a few locations throughout parts of the Columbia River Gorge. As we look at the future cast, we'll put this into motion tomorrow morning. Some of us will be some spotty showers tomorrow morning, drier by the later part of the morning into the afternoon, but right around 3-4 o'clock, that rain picks up and the snow picks up as well between tonight and the early part of next week, John, the Oregon Cascades could be looking at close to 2 feet of snow. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. Well, because of those warmer temperatures, Multnomah County is closing its severe weather shelters today. The county says Portland's 2 seasonal shelters gave a place to stay to more than 920 people on Thursday and Friday night. The Department of Homeless Services, formerly known as the Joint Office of Homeless Services, is still tallying up the results of its enhanced outreach, which had been going on since January the 10th. It does say since then it's given out thousands of blankets, ponchos, and cold weather gear, plus more than 100,000 bottles of water. The county also reports 1 person was confirmed to have died from hypothermia. That happened on February 2nd in the 97219 zip code. Also today, the county has reopened Northeast 238th Drive between Tree Hill Drive and Gleason. That section of the road was shut down Thursday after the storm caused multiple crashes involving more than 20 vehicles.
I worked at Tesla 8 years ago. I'm a big fan of EVs, but I'm a bigger fan of our democracy. If we don't have a democracy, we won't be able to solve problems like climate change and everything else that we care about.
New here at 5, demonstrators held a Tesla takedown protest outside the Portland dealership on South McCadden, calling out the actions of the company's CEO Elon Musk. They tell us they want to bring attention to Musk's actions within the federal government to reduce spending as part of the new Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE.
The only way we have of fighting back against this is A, coming out here and speaking about it, speaking up, but also letting everyone know that Tesla stock is the foundation of his wealth. If we can stop boycott the sale of Tesla cars, if people sell Tesla stock, we can get rid of this guy.
Multiple Democratic attorneys general have challenged Musk's legal authority. And it's not just Portland seeing protests. They were also held today in Boston, Austin, Washington, D.C., and Arlington, Texas. Well, this protest comes as a federal judge in Seattle has temporarily blocked President Trump's order banning gender-affirming care for minors. Bridget Chavez was in the courtroom for the decision and shares what this means moving forward.
The temporary restraining order puts a stop to the ban while all of this plays out in court, but this is just the first step in what could be a long legal fight.
I want to encourage all of the providers in this state, in the state of Oregon and the state of Minnesota, who also join this effort, to get back to work, to continue to provide the medically necessary care for their children.
Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown was met with a warm welcome outside Seattle's federal courthouse after a judge blocked an executive order banning gender-affirming care for minors.
We got an important message here from this judge today about the threats that were being made by the President of the United States to criminalize healthcare.
The order bans hospitals from providing gender-affirming care to minors and threatens to withhold federal funding from those who do not comply. The administration says this type of care includes puberty blockers, hormone therapies, and certain surgical procedures. Lawyers from Brown's office argued before Judge Lauren King that the order violates the Constitution. When pressed for examples of treatments available to both trans and cisgender patients, a DOJ lawyer struggled to answer and couldn't provide one. Judge King appearing frustrated, saying, "You're not answering my questions. I'm going to ask you to try to answer my questions."
What did you make of the argument made by the DOJ today?
It was a little bit embarrassing.
Advocates and supporters say they're breathing a little easier for now.
The word I would use is relief, right? Like, this is something that has already had material impacts on our ability to deliver care.
The next hearing for this case is scheduled for February 28th at 2 p.m. In Seattle, Bridget Chavez, King 5 News.
Oregon Governor Tina Kotek is placing the director of the Oregon Youth Authority on administrative leave. Effective immediately, Joe O'Leary is no longer in the top job. The authority oversees the well-being of children and teens in the juvenile justice system. Interim Deputy Director Jana McClellan has been appointed acting director. Now, this comes after a slew of lawsuits filed in the fall against current and former staffers at the authority alleging sexual abuse or failing to report or prevent abuse. The Oregonian is reporting that the authority's chief investigator resigned during an ongoing review into his handling of misconduct complaints. The authority has not yet responded to a request for comment.